Good morning and welcome to Dan's Vintage Baseball PC. Do not be fooled by that fancy name. It's just me and some friends talking about baseball cards. And today it's just me, no friends. Going to talk about the Philly show, uh, some really good stuff, some really bad stuff, and also some other recent acquisitions I picked up that haven't really fit into any of my other videos. So Philly show was Friday, Saturday, Sunday of this past weekend. I'm recording this on Monday. Um, and I went Saturday. I was a good boy on Friday night. Took it easy. Went to bed early. Got up early. Took my time getting out. Left about 9. Got there at 11. Nice 2-hour drive. And then spent, I guess, 4 hours at the show from about 11 till 3-ish. Getting back on a Saturday early evening. Not so great, but show was pretty good. Standard Philly show, except I'll show you a few more pictures. The show has gotten bigger again. Um, you know the old sports expression, let the game come to you. I kind of did that with this show. It took me about an hour before I even reached into my pocket and pulled out my wallet for the first real big buy that I got. It was a good amount of cards for me, not the usual big bundle of cards that I'll come home with, but a good amount of cards and what I called elsewhere um, precision buying. I'll come back to my first card because that's the biggie from the show. But I did pick up some nice 1947 Bond Bread cards. Paul, who I will talk about later on in a not so good way, from PB Collectibles in Newport, recently purchased 2 complete sets of the 1947 Bond Bread, and he's been offering them bit by bit. But he had a nice stack of raw copies, and I picked up the Johnny Sane in somebody joked looks like he's throwing in his backyard, but I'm pretty sure that's spring training. Tommy Holmes, which if you remember from the Tommy Holmes show, I only had a square version of this, which is either counterfeit or some other issue. But now that I have the beveled corner Tommy Holmes, this guy is going off to SGC. And the great, Bob Elliott. Bob Elliott in 1947 was the National League MVP. So this is an MVP card. And I believe that is Braves Field behind him with a beautiful shot. But classic Bond Bread photos, all beveled, all really good condition, except somebody's got a little smudge on the back. Yeah, Elliott's got some smudgy on the back. So grade-wise, doesn't matter. Just want to get them secure in an SGC tux and have those cards forever. Also, as you may know, I'm building the 1955 doubleheader set. Had a good batch of them at the National. And Bill Chappell was back again, of course, as he is at every Philly show. Offered some fantastic items, and I got 2 from him. Hal Newhouser, Hall of Famer, 55 doubleheader. Beautiful shot of the pitching and little off center, but really sharp. And then Gus Cernal, power hitter for the Philadelphia A's, famous in the card community for that wonderful 1952 Topps card with the 6 balls attached to his bat. Anyway, this is Gus Cernal, pretty nicely centered, pretty nicely sharp corners. These are both going off to SGC, and I expect we'll probably get some nice mid-grade. Did get 3 slabs. I was walking along, and sometimes it shows it's just luck. I'm walking along, and there's a guy with his son talking to a vintage dealer, and he walks away right as I'm walking up, and he says, "Thank you for your time, sir." So I said to the dealer, I said, "Hey, that's nice that he said that. You don't see that level of courtesy at the show." And the dealer said, "Yeah." So I start looking at his stuff, and we're chatting about some other stuff, and then I see this 1934 Tattoo Orbit, Mickey Cochran, and look at that. I mean, that's perfectly centered. I think the corners are actually pretty sharp for a card that's 90 years old. So I took a look at it, and I'm expecting the price to be like 6.5, 6, 700, whatever. And it's 200. And I'm like, oh, there's a 2. There must be something going on. Of course, there's something going on is that little stain on the back, but again, as I've said many times before, I don't display the backs of the cards. I display these gorgeous fronts. And look at that. Oh, man. Between the colors and the shapes and the Mickey Cochran swinging, oh, man, this is a beautiful card. And it just presents so amazing. Like I said, it presents like a 6 in the front. So I talked him down a little bit, not too much, because 200 was already a good price, and got this beauty. So that will be my second tattoo orbit. I guess the first one is right there, Lefty Grove, who we will talk about in a second. Lefty Grove has a card in the 1929 cash-in publications. Is this a rookie? I mean, they call his 33 Gaudi a rookie. I have it in there somewhere also. But this is 4 years before. And I got this guy. It is a 3. And it's my first cash-in publications card. It's like a thin paper postcard. And it's a 3, so it's pretty nice. Softens the blow of losing out in REA last night on a pretty beat up Jimmy Fox cash-in publications that went for $250 hammer. So that's going to be, I guess, over $300 after you get through with all the fees and stuff. This cost me exactly $300, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. So, good news about Lefty Grove is that we will be doing a Lefty Grove show in a few weeks with our old friend and owner of the greatest card room in the world, Mark Hoyle, will be coming on to talk about Lefty Grove, who of course spent the second half of his career with the Red Sox after having been a Philadelphia A, and this is him as a Philadelphia A. Gorgeous shot of him pitching, classic 1929 cash-in. So my big pickup for the show was the first card I bought, 1955 doubleheaders. There's some big cards in the set. I already have the Aaron, it's right there, and the Spawn, who's in there somewhere. And Al Rosen, I just bought Klazuski, and I have a couple of other, Monty Irvin, I got at the National, a few others. But I knew I was going to have to get 2 biggies to do the set. One is Ted Williams, and one is Jackie Robinson. So saw this one. As you can see, it is a 3.5, old label, but 3.5 is actually a fair grade. Really nicely centered, as you can see. One of the corners, it's this one, is dinged up, and that would be why it's a 3.5. But saw the price and said, hey, that looks like a pretty good price for 3.5. Checked the numbers, and sure enough, it was a very good price for 3.5. And I actually managed to talk the dealer down a little bit, so it came away with this for a really nice price. And again, fits in my Dodgers collection, fits in my Jackie collection, and of course, will be the centerpiece of the 55 double headers complete set when I finish it. Which, by the way, I have them all in SGC, so I'm going to keep with the SGC theme there. So let me just go to some photos here. Should say that I had the pleasure of meeting up with Don from The Show and Me. That's him on the left. And then the gentleman on the right wearing the Eagles jersey is TJ Online. Tony was hanging out at Stan's booth. The two of them were going through some sets, building some sets, going through some high numbers. But we had time to chat, take a picture. This picture's taken on Tony's phone, which I guess he's got a newer iPhone because clarity is way better than on my phone. So here's the show. You'll see this in the thumbnail from this video, but here's the show. The normal room. It's a big room. There's a series of rooms in the Philadelphia Expo Center, or the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center, and this is the big room. I guess it's A. I think it's called A. It's the big room, but the show actually this is a complete turnaround. I took this picture. I took facing, I guess it would be west, and this picture I took facing east. The show took over an entire other room, which I guess would be B, which is where the show had been in a couple of years ago. But now the autograph pavilion, as you can see, the photo in the middle there, the autograph pavilion is all the way in the back, and it has plenty of room, and the speakers and the loud announcing of stuff tends to be more towards that part of the room now. As you can see, Beckett had a setup. eBay did, so did PSA. That would be off to the left here. And there were some dealer booths in there. There is some more room to expand in here. As you can see, it's not particularly packed. But the Philly show has now taken over 2 big rooms in the Greater Philly Expo. So that's a cool thing. So yeah, here's my picture of my 3 big pickups: the Grove, the Cochran, and the 55 Jackie Robinson. These are the raw ones, the 3 47 bond bread, 2 more raw 55 double headers. So here's the bad news. So when I walked up to Paul, PB Collectibles from Newport, he was distraught. And I didn't know why, but he quickly told me that he had been the victim of a rather large theft. Just, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes earlier from when I walked up to him. He was working the show alone, and he was distracted away from his big case that has big cards, and someone reached in and grabbed essentially a $20,000 Babe Ruth card. This is a picture of that card. As you can see, it has a serial number. It is a PSA graded, and whether it ever gets recovered or not remains to be seen. But if this card ever comes across your eyes, please let me know. I'll let Paul know. And he's obviously got law enforcement involved. But this is yet another terrible theft in the card community. And it seems to be happening at all the big shows now. And it's Paul was distraught, and I was distraught for him, because frankly, this is just terrible. Yeah, you can victim blame and say, oh yeah, he should have had somebody with him, etc. But that's not the point. The point is, there are bad actors in the card community willing to commit felonies, essentially, to steal items from people, and this has to stop. And I guess we're going to have to be more vigilant. We're going to have to have more security, have more people working, lock everything up. It's not good for the hobby in any sense, obviously, but if we could be more secure and more, feeling like we aren't going to be victims every time we bring our cards to a show, that would be better. So, obviously, sympathy for Paul, who is a great guy, a great dealer, and a great asset to the community. And frankly, this is just devastating. But again, if you see this card, it will be a stolen card, and hopefully at some point it will be recovered, and the people who did the theft will pay the price. Whoop. I shouldn't have gone there. That's my... So, yeah, that's the Philly show. I got back Saturday night. Pretty happy with it. Obviously, I'll be going to the Philly show again in December. My next big show is going to be the Shriner Show in Massachusetts, north of Boston. That's the first few days of November. I'll be going on the Saturday, which I think is the 1st or the 2nd. So, never been to Shriners before. Pretty excited about it. 4 new cards that came in the last month or so. This one I bought from Ash through Garrett. Garrett's doing some selling for Ash online, which is great because Garrett is excellent at this. Young guy with a lot of energy and really good eye. Working with Ash, it's a dream team to me. But Garrett put up a bunch of cards in the pre-war tobacco Facebook group, which is an excellent Facebook group, by the way. And I grabbed this guy, Adolfo Luque, who is, one of the guys that I'm sort of collecting every time I see him. I got a safe search for him on eBay. Picked up one not too long ago, the Nielsen's Chocolate. This is my first Caramello Deportivo card. He's older. He's not playing. He's managing, but it is Luque. It is Luque. It is a person who should be in the Hall of Fame, both for his numbers and for his historical significance in the game. But happy to have a Caramello Deportivo card. So that's one. I finally got this guy, nothing amazing, about it, but I've been looking for a Yastrzemski rookie that doesn't have all the black ink smearing all over him. And this came up on Twitter. It's a 5. It deserves a 5. It doesn't have the black smearing on it. So I finally got my Yaz rookie. Hoping to do a Yaz show, and I've got some thoughts about it. I don't have much in the way of Yaz collection, but I certainly know people who do. The previously mentioned Mark Hoyle, of course, being one of them, and a couple of other guys. And I'm thinking of maybe doing it as like a live stream. So we'll see. That'll be off in the future. But now that I have the Yaz rookie, I feel like I can do a Yaz show. Pick this guy up. If you recall from the T206 show with Brent, he mentioned that Napoli cards aren't that expensive. And I said, I don't have an Napoli in my collection, which, it's obviously a major oversight. So I went on eBay and found this. It was being offered by somebody who was on Net 54. So I went and talked to him on Net 54, cut a deal, and here we are. Very good price on this. Obviously, it's a 1. You can see the big crease there, but nothing on the face. And actually, let me say that again. There are some stuff on the face, but for the price that I got it for, T206 Napoli portrait, no complaints. Very good price on it. And then I got one biggie. So I'm on Golden, and I'm away. I guess I was in Newport, so this would have been like mid to late August. And I'm on Golden, and I put in a bid that I don't expect to win. Hammer price, really good hammer price. Of course, with Golden, you got to pay the bidder, the whatchamacallit, the buyer's premium. You got to pay the tax and the this and that, and the number comes up to be much more higher than your hammer price. But I put in a hammer price that I thought was definitely not going to win. But it did win. And here I am, now the owner of a 1952 Bowman Mickey Mantle. As you can see, there is a crease, actually more of a sort of a flaw, less a crease. Rounded corners. It is a 1. Definitely should be a 1. But it is a 1952 Mickey Mantle that I got at a pretty nice price, to be honest with you. It's in a really sturdy PSA holder. I guess it's one of the super new ones because you can see that the cert number begins with a 9, so it's pretty new. And so here I am, the proud owner of a 1952 Mickey Mantle. Not 52 tops, but 52 Bowman. Perfectly fine with me. Goes up into the Mickey Mantle case, which you can't really see is up there. Someday I'm going to do a Mickey Mantle show, since I have everything but the 51 Bowman, 52 tops, and the 53 tops, which I'm going to get that pretty soon. So I'll be down to not having the 2 rookies, and 52 tops not really a rookie, but I'll be down to having the 2 most difficult Mantle cards and having everything else in the run. So happy with that. Happy with the Philly show. Not happy that a friend of mine was victimized. Obviously, any help would be greatly appreciated. I know other people have put up notices of this on Instagram and elsewhere. But that being said, being more vigilant is obviously important. Having people work. Obviously, Paul's insured, so he's not going to be out the total amount. But again, really awful thing happened there. So next video is next Saturday, normal time. Normal video will be an interview of a super collector. And now that I have the Joe Wood with Boston card, I can do the Joe Wood show, and that's in fact what we're going to be doing. So anyway, have a good week, and we will see you on Saturday.